So we're talking about our friend Eric Wedge, who said said one unfortunate thing, I think, when he sort of sounded like he was trying to blame the struggles of Dustin Ackley on sabermetrics.
Right, talking about the numbers getting up into these kids' heads.
Right, and that he's burning his eyes out or something like that, despite all evidence to the contrary that might be the case. And of course, he's angered that community, which is led by Dave Cameron in many ways of U.S.S. Mariner and Fangraphs.com, who wrote some very critical things and punctuated it with the end of his statement saying, and Eric Wedge is not going to be the manager for the Mariners all that much longer. So I'm not even going to bother with the hot seat goof. It's hot. The question is how hot.
Well, I mean, if it's going to come down to wins and losses, then it's scorching hot because the team's not winning. They've lost 8 in a row, they win 2, then they go out and get beat up last night. And, I think when you call up as many young guys as they're calling up, you're not setting yourself up for a bunch of wins at the major league level. Now, the question is the front office going to understand that? Do they look at it and go, well, obviously wins aren't going to be in abundance when you bring up Franklin and Trienfeld and you're calling Liddy back up and you're sending these other guys down. I just don't think you can look at it and say, well, now we should be in a position to win. These are moves made out of necessity to kind of keep the future of your prospects intact and work on the mechanics and work on their confidence, whatever it is that needs to be rebuilt, and do it at the AAA level.
I think the problem here is now it's different with Morse and Liddy because he got hurt. Mm-hmm. And in the case of Smoke is a little beat up too, so they needed an extra bat in there. I think in the other cases, though, I mean, you're talking about failure. You're talking about guys who are supposed to be developed that aren't. Non-injury reasons is the big blanket we'll use for it. And those are the ones that are a little tougher to live with, the ones where he's just not getting it done. And that's been true with Ackley all year. He's down. It's been true with Montero all year. He's down. It's been true with Justin Smoke, who's hurt right now, but is on pace for 10 home runs and 25 RBIs as first baseman. Not nearly enough. Now, what do? The old adage, sometimes they're still true. You can't fire the team, you fire the manager is one of those that is still true. You're at the point now where and I think they actually got to have some success with these guys, Bob, with the Franklins and the Trienfelds, because, even though they're, it maybe have been desperate moves that brought them up there, but they're expecting them to come through. They were highly drafted players by this organization as well. So you're at a critical point right now. I think it's a decent question to wonder if Jack Zarenzik would be the one who would pull the trigger, and I'm not so sure he would, so I'm not certain something will happen this year. But on the other hand, if they go through another stretch, losing 9 of 11, maybe like 18 of 22, I don't know that you have any choice.
Well, and I don't know if that's going to be the cure-all. I don't know who's out there that's going to turn this thing around and all of a sudden it's going to be a productive team. I just think they've got so many young guys up there now, and to expect, even though Franklin and Trienfeld are guys we've heard the names a lot, and maybe they are, maybe they're not ready, but they're going to be young guys. They're going to have those young guy struggles, which means they're going to be inconsistent. I don't think it's fair to expect that they're going to come up here and turn this thing around all of a sudden because they're replacing another struggling player. I mean, to me, you're replacing one with the other. Mm-hmm. Some are struggling for different reasons because of youth and just because their mechanics are out of whack, but the results are still the same. So I just don't know how many more wins you're going to see, if any more, than you would see had you kept Montero and Ackley up here. And I'm not saying they should be up here. I agree with sending them down.
Sure.
But just the total number of wins, does that chance now improve with these call-ups? I don't think so.
Mariner baseball.